Tonight, we speak to a family of Jasper evacuees who luckily found out their house has been spared in the wildfire destruction. Plus, good news for the communities of Wells and Barkerville as the evacuation orders have been lifted. And provincial health leaders announced today the official end of the COVID-19 public health emergency. Good evening, I'm Eddie Huband and welcome to CKPG News. Our top story tonight, CKPG News caught up with a family of evacuees passing through Prince George on the way to Grand Prairie, along with thousands of others who have had to leave their homes in the community of Jasper. Thankfully, this family learned last night that their home escaped destruction, but their future is still unknown. Cheryl Jan reports in tonight's top story.
When we were evacuating and we were in that gridlock and the sky was orange and black and there was ashes coming down on our car and we couldn't move, and because it was just so packed, this bottleneck traffic, I just thought, is this it? Is this where we're going to go?
That was Patty Urie's state of mind on Monday night as they fled Jasper heading west to avoid two wildfires that threatened the community. Ultimately, there was significant loss, but not entirely. And this, the Jasper evacuees Facebook page, is how they found out their home is still standing.
Is it safe? We don't know. I mean, it could be toxic, it could be waterlogged, it could be smoke damaged. It's standing while all around us, it's absolutely devastated.
And while Joe is pretty calm about the fate of his home, Patty is anything but.
Yeah, I have survivor's guilt. I just learned that term, and I realized that I couldn't feel totally happy. Even though I have a home, I don't feel great.
The two have had an outdoor adventure business in Jasper for years.
Because it's a boutique experience and because Patty and I both come from families that said don't buy stuff with money you don't have, we're pretty well insulated. So we're just going to be able to simply hold back and see what comes next.
But while Joe says he and his family will eventually rebuild their lives, he's not so calm about the politics.
The frustration lies with some of the bureaucracy. There's a lot of things that could be done that aren't being done because there's levels of crossing T's and dotting I's that is supposed to happen. I think that's stuff that could happen after the fact, just get stuff done.
The hope is to make their way as a family as close to home as they can get.
Works has said that once they get the fire out of town, because there's actually still some flames in town and there's still some buildings with that are smoldering and fire was jumping from building to building as of yesterday. But once they get that under control and then they can assess the damage, I think then they'll have a better idea of a timeline and they'll let us know.
As for what's next, neither Patty nor Joe are built to sit around.
I'm going to try to make my way to Hinton, where Fire Command is now set up, and I know that there's going to be a time when they're probably going to need bodies to do some things. In the moment, they're just going to have to make sure that the place is secure before anybody's capable of getting in there.
And while the family treks back to Alberta, it's both with a heavy heart and a sense of the future. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
It's been a long 5 days for the communities of Wells and Barkerville, but the wildfire scare could be over soon, with the district lifting the evacuation order. Cheryl Jan has the latest update on the Antler Creek wildfire.
July 21st, the District of Wells and the historic site of Barkerville were placed on an evacuation order, sending hundreds to Quesnel and Prince George, and the Antler Creek fire is not going away.
It is still a wildfire of note, and it is still estimated at 14,283 hectares. We have received some significant showers and afternoon and a bit of thunder showers as well. It's quite humid, so we have humid conditions kind of forecast for this period, and tomorrow we're expecting more of the same.
Regardless, the District of Wells and Barkerville have opted to lift the evacuation orders, allowing residents to return home if they opt to.
Our water's good, our infrastructure's good, we have power, so we can do a controlled entry, which we started at about 6 o'clock last night after I could get all the approvals through to the province.
However, Ed Coleman notes there is still a 24-kilometer monster in their backyard.
The fire will start burning the top of a tree, and it won't even hit the ground. It'll burn the first half of the tree, then it jumps to the next tree. So you see this stream of flames just taking out the top half of the tree. But when it does that, it goes fast. You know, it's one thing to have a ground fire, but when it's at the top of trees and the wind's blowing it can travel very, very fast.
He says his community, as does Barkerville, remain under alert, and those who return home may be told to leave at a moment's notice once again. Due to this uncertainty, Arts Wells has been postponed. And Ed Coleman has this advice for those who go home.
Have that to-go bag. I mean, I've had a to-go bag in my vehicle since 2014 when I, was working out at Barkerville.
He says the golden story here is that no one has been hurt and folks can go home when they're ready. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
The YMCA of BC has taken measures to ensure wildfire evacuees can access their services. In response to the devastating fires affecting communities across the province, YMCA BC is opening its doors to those in need. Effective immediately, individuals and families impacted by the wildfires have free access to the YMCA BC Health, Fitness and Aquatic Centres located in the Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, Kamloops and Prince George.
And this is happening provincially through YMCA BC. So we here in Prince George, we have an opportunity for them to come to the gym. Their children can access the child services and programs that we offer here, and they can play in the gym as a family, or the children can go into the child minding area and they can exercise and just have some exercise and get rid of some stress perhaps, and have some fun with their family in the gym, and just have a sense of some normal activities. It's free for the evacuees. All they need to do is let them know that they're in that situation. If they have the number for the registration with emergency services, that helps us just put that in our system, or their government ID would be sufficient as well, and just let us know that that's their situation, and we will set them up with a free membership to support them during this time.
BC's top doctor says she's ending the public health emergency declared in response to COVID-19 in March 2020. Adam Burrows brings us the story.
4 years. That's how long BC has been in a public health emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And on Friday, July 26th, BC's public health emergency was lifted.
We have reached the point in this journey that we've been on where I am confident that we can now lift the requirements of a public health emergency. We will be ending the public health emergency for COVID-19 and be rescinding the few related orders that are still in place.
And one of those orders ends the COVID-19 vaccine mandate in all healthcare settings.
After a careful review of the data, our epidemiologic indicators, the state of our healthcare system, the situation in BC, I am confident there's no longer a need for this public health emergency and the powers that come under that to remain in place.
MLA Shirley Bond is the opposition health critic and says that this decision is long overdue.
It is about time that the NDP have finally lifted the vaccine mandate here in British Columbia. We called for that to happen over 2 years ago when everyone else in Canada and beyond began to lift the mandate requirements. So the NDP stubbornly refused to move and to change. So today I obviously welcome the news, but it is way too late. It should have happened much sooner.
Health Minister Adrian Dix said only about 630 full-time healthcare workers lost their jobs due to the mandate. He says this includes 2 full-time nurses in Northern Health, and he reiterated that the mandate protected workers and patients.
The mandate was instrumental in protecting healthcare workers against severe COVID-19 illness and complications, reducing the transmission to vulnerable patients and care home residents, and supporting the resiliency of our healthcare system.
However, Shirley Bond says that those workers who were affected by the mandate need to be allowed back ASAP.
One doctor, 1 or 2 nurses is the difference between keeping an ER open or seeing it close. Every single person in the healthcare system, we need them working. And, so that is really important. And we should be making their re-entry as easy as possible.
Despite the mandate being removed, the province is making it mandatory for healthcare workers to disclose their immunization status as a way they claim to help keep people safe. Adam Burrows, CKPG News.
Prince George is positioning itself as a hydrogen hub, but an article from the Vancouver Sun this week mentioned that Australian hydrogen company Fortescue would be putting its BC projects on hold, including one in Prince George. But that doesn't mean the project is dead. Here's more.
When it comes to Fortescue, those conversations are going to continue. As I said, I've been in regular contact with the Premier's office and with Fortescue, and both parties are at the table discussing and identifying opportunities and the hurdles that are going to need to be overcome to get that investment here in Prince George. So the work continues, and although there's a bit of a pause in the progress right now, it doesn't mean the project's dead. Although there's a bit of a restructuring with Fortescue and how they're doing business, that's totally separate from the City of Prince George. They're going to do what they need to do to be a viable business. But it sounds like in our discussions with both Fortescue and the Premier's office that there's still opportunity there to realize an investment from Fortescue here in Prince George, which is great.
This week on Entertainment Spotlight, we're taking a look at an upcoming biopic, A Complete Unknown, based on the life of legendary folk singer Bob Dylan, who will be played by Timothée Chalamet. This film also stars Monica Barbaro, Elle Fanning, Boyd Holbrook, and Ed Norton.
I want to tell you a little story. A few months back, my friend Woody Guthrie and I, we met a young man. He dropped in on us out of nowhere and he played us a song. In that moment, we got a feeling we were getting a glimpse of the future.
All right, I'll just come out and say it. We have seen a plethora of biopics based on famous singers and actors, and most of them have been underwhelming. Bohemian Rhapsody, Stardust, All Eyes on Me, just to name a few. But I have high hopes for this film. Chalamet is on the rise as one of the brightest young stars in Hollywood, and the fact that all the music will be sung by him as opposed to dubbing, which is a technique that's often used in these type of films, it'll bring more authenticity to the role.
Oh, where have you been, my blue-eyed son? Oh, where have you been, my darling young one? I stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I walked and I crawled on 6 crooked highways.
The plot of this movie will focus on the controversy surrounding the switch to electrically amplified instrumentation by Bob Dylan, a pivotal defining moment in the 20th century music history. A Complete Unknown will be coming out in December of this year. The lowest gas price in Prince George is sitting at $1.72.9 a litre at Costco. The lowest price in the province right now is in Dewdney at $1.60.9 per litre. Manitoba has the lowest fuel prices on average in the country at $1.51.5 per litre, while BC has an average price of $1.77.8 per litre.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Join the Domino's Lunch Club with 25% off all regular price pizzas every day. Visit domino's.ca to join the club.
Every year, Special Olympics BC Prince George hosts a fundraising golf tournament to support athletes in our community. And this year, once again, there was a strong community support. Tommy Osborne was at the tournament and brings us more on how the money supports local athletes.
It is one of the highest, one of the greatest things that he does.
The 28th Annual Special Olympics BC Prince George Golf Fundraising Tournament took place at the Prince George Golf and Curling Club, and the last couple of years have seen it raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to support our Special Olympic athletes right here in Prince George.
It's one of the most important things in his life. He gets to travel because of the money that's made at these sporting events, and he gets to practice. He gets the best equipment. He gets the chances to play against other people from other areas, and they all get to know one another. It's a real camaraderie. They do really well.
Special Olympics is a worldwide organization supporting athletes with intellectual disabilities. The golf tournament in Prince George helps fund 14 different programs for more than 100 athletes, with the money helping helping cover things like travel, equipment, accommodations, and more.
This is huge for the athletes. This gives them the chance to be able to participate in all these sports and travel and that. If there's no way they would be able to afford that, so this is giving them that opportunity to be able to enjoy all the sports.
It's a big team spirit thing, and it's a very, very positive thing.
Special Olympic athletes can start as early as elementary school and continue all the way until they're seniors, and some athletes in Prince George have been competing for decades. All the money raised stays in Prince George, and event organizers say being able to contribute to such a positive cause through a fun event is always a highlight of the year.
That are really enjoying what they do, and so many of them have multiple sports that they play in. It's just a very good feeling, and it's nice to be able to help out the community.
With hundreds of thousands of dollars raised each year, the Special Olympics Golf Fundraising Tournament continues to make a life-changing impact for the hundreds of Special Olympic athletes right here in Prince George. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
Good evening again. We are looking at a nice mild weekend ahead, but we take you back from earlier today on our Pacific satellite map. And again, mainly cloudy out there for the most part today, but we are going to be in for a nice clearing trend moving into our Saturday. So we do have some pretty calm weather coming our way the next couple of days. And then we're tracking another system Sunday night, which I'll show you in a second. But here's the future cast. Saturday, nice and sunny. We do have local smoke in the forecast for our day again tomorrow, though. And then this is the next system. Likely the timing on that for us will be later into Sunday night or Sunday evening and carrying over into Monday. So we will have some showers coming our way for the end of the weekend, but for the most part, Saturday and much of Sunday, the bulk of Sunday looks to be pretty clear. Unsettled up towards the north coast, 16, cool in Prince Rupert tomorrow, cloudy inland to Terrace, but beautiful up in the Peace and right across most of the province. We're going to have high pressure over us, so it'll be bumping temperatures up, bringing back that sunshine. But yes, we do have local smoke to take into consideration as well. 28 for Kamloops and Kelowna, very similar to that. South Coast looking great along the island as well. 19 degrees Victoria. So really, really nice and comfortable temperatures. We're not seeing any of those real heat extremes that we were dealing with the last little while in many areas. And for the most part, back to average or close to normals for this time of the year. 25 our day tomorrow. It will be a mainly sunny day as we move through the afternoon. 26 for Quesnel, beautiful in McBride. 24, the same Vanderhoof. Everywhere you go across our broadcast region, it is nice sunshine and really nice temperatures into the mid-20s. Across the country we go, and we've got a lot of sunshine to look at. 24 degrees in Vancouver, away from the water, a bit warmer than that, of course. 22 in Edmonton, so starting to clear out in Edmonton. It's been pretty rainy, pretty stormy the last couple of days. We know that the rain is needed, though. 28 degrees in Regina, 32 Winnipeg. It is going to be a hot one again tomorrow in Winnipeg, not quite as stormy as it was today. 29 Montreal, and further over towards the Maritimes, really nice weather as well. Halifax and St. John's, beautiful temperatures and lots of sunshine. So we are looking at the sunny skies, as I mentioned, for our Saturday for the most part. Sunday, we might have a few more clouds kind of rolling in as the day goes on. And then later into Sunday, we have the showers developing. So it is a really nice and mild trend across the board, and a dry one for at least a couple of days in many cases. Burns Lake just giving you Saturday as your dry one. And through the afternoon hours, you'll see things change on Sunday with rain and drizzle. It's a bit of a cooler pattern to start off next week as well. Mackenzie, temperatures will take a dip down to about 20 on Monday with some showers coming in. But Saturday and Sunday look really nice. Cloudy most of the time on Saturday, but you still have the sunny breaks in store. McBride, 9 tonight, a few showers early, and then a morning shower tomorrow. But after that, warm, sunny, beautiful. Get outside while you can. 24 on Sunday, turning cloudy throughout the day as we see that next system approaching. So definitely some showers on Monday. Quesnel will be pretty rainy and cool on Monday, but otherwise very pleasant. 26 tomorrow, close to that again on Sunday. And for us, we've got a similar forecast. You can see a bit more cloud cover on Sunday in these graphics, but 23 degrees will be where we sit. Warmer tomorrow. Tomorrow's the hottest or the warmest of the bunch. Humidex will take the temperature up to about 26, 27. Then we see things cool down just slightly with some showers moving back in for Monday.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Join the Domino's Lunch Club with 25% off all regular price pizzas every day. Visit Domino's.ca to join the club.
Tonight, CKP3 is celebrating pitchers. We have the master of the hat catch, a pitcher who cracked the Ohtani code, and a no-hitter. All in tonight's CKP3 with Tommy Osborne.
Starting off with some circus-level catches.
First pitch, Colton Cowser takes one the other way, left center. And that is bullpen bound into the hat of C.N.L. Perez. What was better, the swing or the catch?
You think he practices these? C.N.L. Perez has 4 hat catches from the bullpen since last year. And while the highlight certainly belongs to his teammates hitting the homers, Perez is certainly worthy of the screen time as he continues to dazzle with these hat catches. Next up, Ohtani strikes out.
You can't throw a better breaking ball than that.
Normally, Shohei Ohtani is in the highlights for his big homers, but he's on the opposite end this time, as Eric Miller is the only pitcher in Ohtani's career to strike him out in their first 5 battles. Big props to Miller for somehow finding the secret to beating Ohtani. Few pitchers cracked that code. Finally, a no-hitter.
Abrams to right field. Johnson coming in. He makes the catch. No hits for the Nats. Dylan Cease throws a no-hitter. The second no-hitter in Padres history. There'll be a sea of San Diegans celebrating back home today.
Dylan Cease made history when he became just the second San Diego Padre ever to record a no-hitter. It's a milestone few pitchers will ever accomplish, but the 28-year-old has now cemented his name in the Padres history books in tonight's CKP3.
All right, that's all for now. Thanks for joining us as always. We did it. It's the end of the week. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Here's a last look of some people playing some hoops. Love that. We'll see you on Monday.